We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Bad news. Terence Crawford makes a statement regarding Latino and Mexican fans ahead of his fight with Canelo Alvarez. And let's just say a lot of Canelo fans weren't impressed, weren't happy, and end up retaliating against these comments with their own comments. In this video, I'm going to break down everything and let you know the unfortunate truth behind Canelo versus Crawford. Should be a great video from the top. Now, I've been doing this for quite some time. I am truly the best in the business, and it's not even close. It's really undeniable at this point. From the quality that I give you, the audio, visual, graphics, to the years in the game, to holding it down by myself, not no big team or whatever. I'm giving you boxing news you can use, right? And I feel like I've earned my stripes over the years. Some enjoy my content, some don't. The paycheck's still the same, so it don't really matter to me. But when I say things in boxing, some people agree, some people disagree. It's the internet. Whatever, fine. But those that say they agree end up looking dumb to the point where you should have just listened to me in the beginning, right? I told you when this fight was just a thought, before the fight had actually come into fruition, there were no press conferences, no face-offs, no announcement to a fight, that Crawford Canelo was going to create racial tension in the comment section. I've been in this sport long enough. I know a lot of the people involved, and I know how people get down. Now, what I'm going to say in this video, this is not my opinion, it's more observation. I think being a messenger in the boxing game or just on the internet, sometimes people try to attack the messenger, which makes no sense. It's like if you went to a doctor and you did a blood work and whatever test to test for an STD and you was burning and the doctor read from your lab results, oh, you got it. You got that you got that willy lump. Whose fault is that? Is it yours or is it the doctor's? Right? So don't blame me for exposing the ugly truth in the boxing game. Without further ado, let's go. So apparently Crawford made a statement about his Mexican fans, right? His Mexican fans. I personally didn't see him make the comment, like see the quote. However, there's a Spanish boxing publication that puts out boxing news and they've quoted him. So I'm assuming they had a guy at the, press conference or whatever. And these are statements from Terence Crawford. In fact, some of you guys probably have seen it. I just haven't seen the actual video, right? But it's a bankable, incredible site that I haven't known to just falsify. In fact, you'll probably get more bad intel and clickbait on YouTube than you do elsewhere in boxing. YouTube is a cesspool of people making up stuff. Title don't match the video, that kind of thing. So anyway, it says they put out a post and nobody has refuted this post. It says Crawford, and this is a loose translation. Crawford, another one with Mexican blood running through his veins. This is what they put, right? So their caption says, Terence Crawford is another one with Mexican blood running through his veins. And then they put the blood emoji and the Mexican flag emoji, right? So that's their opinion. And keep in mind, this is a Spanish-speaking boxing entity. And I want this for the record. I'm not blaming them. They didn't do anything wrong, right? So I'm not blaming the publication for this. But it's Twitter. And you know Twitter is a nasty place. So anyway, it says, Crawford said, I have a lot of Mexican fans. There are people who love boxing. I grew up around a lot of Latino people. So this is for all the Mexican people who love and support me, right? Now, at first glance, seems pretty harmless, but you gotta know who and what you're dealing with in the world of boxing, right? So again, I'm gonna read it again. I have a lot of Mexican fans. There are people who love boxing. I grew up around a lot of Latino people. So this is for all the Mexican people to fight with Canelo that love and support me, right? Now, I feel that Terence Crawford was genuinely just trying to show love, right? But you got to understand sometimes, and I noticed this in the black community, sometimes you have black fighters and they try to pander to other groups, we'll say, right? And they try to pander and they'll, like, for example, Terence Crawford, if you look at a lot of his beefs, he'll go in. He's beefed with YouTube channels, right? Myself, right? Other fighters like Errol Spence and Gary Russell Jr., right? And Tank Davis, another one. All black people, right? All black people. And you'll be like, Gary Russell, we don't gotta fight in a sanctioned fight because they were beefing at the time or whatever. If I see you in the street on my kids, I'll break your effing neck. This is what Terence Crawford says. But then when it comes to the concept of Mexican fans that I can tell you by and large are not going to be for you in a fight with a Mexican superstar like Canelo Alvarez, then you kind of walk on eggshell. Man, I grew up around a lot of Latinos and da-da-da-da. So you trying to show love, but guess what? The comments, they were on some nasty stuff, right? It says, now everybody wants to be Mexican. ALV. I don't know what the ALV part is, right? And they were absolutely going in, right? Everything one can do, have the Mexican public. Someone tell him that most Mexicans who watch boxing twice a year like to see aggressive boxing with attacking techniques and not evasive ones, if he's really interested in Mexican. So they're already setting up Crawford for the okie doke. First of all, Crawford does have a fun style. Like, what I noticed, and this is how you can tell when people are on racial vibes, because they'll take a person like Crawford and lump him up and say he's a runner, right? That's never been his MO. However, in my opinion, he's going to have to, if he's fighting Canelo, he's going to have to box smartly because he's giving up a lot of weight to Canelo, who's a strong dude and more experienced at the higher weight classes. But this dude is giving recommendations like, hey, just don't run. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? I already wrote it. Terence Crawford will be massacred September 13th. Canelo Alvarez can't afford to let his foolish, acidic critics enjoy a defeat that the Mexican will never have, right? So keep in mind, this is on a post where Terence Crawford says he grew up around Latinos and all the Latinos that love and support him, this fight's for you, right? So he didn't bash or anything, but literally I went one by one through each comment that I could see at the time, and they were mostly negative. What do you mean Mexican is in his veins? He's 110% black. So the public, they resented A lot of the fans on his Spanish speaking page, right? Omar, this guy named Omar, says, what do you mean Mexican blood is in his veins? Because that's what the caption said. That's what they're referring to. He's 110% black. What does that even mean? 100%, if you're 100% something, that means you're full something. So what is 110% black, right? Like, why did you add the 10%? How could you be? So basically, to me, that's stipulating like, oh, you dark as night, you dark skinned or something, because how can you be over 100%? Like, if you go fill up your gas tank and you fill it to completion, that's 100%. You didn't say, oh, I put 110% gas in my whip. It don't even make sense. But if you know, then you know, and it does make sense, right? What he's inferring here, right? Every comment, everyone wants to be Mexican only when it suits them. Ha, 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 right? Look at this. I mean, just read the comments. You guys translate them. Go to Google Translate. It says, let this freckled guy effing mother kick his mother. That's basically what it looks like it translates to, right? So again, this is exactly what I told you. And it reminds me of Devin Haney. Devin Haney, another black American fighter who was getting ready to fight a Mexican-American Ryan Garcia. And he came out with Mexicans for Haney shirts, right? Ryan Garcia is not La Raza. Bill Haney, same thing, right? Bill Haney was walking around asking people if Ryan Garcia is La Raza, right? And here's the thing, even if the Haneys got some Latino people to bite and not claim Ryan Garcia, a lot of times it's because they probably didn't think Ryan would do well in the fight. He was acting weird. He had already lost to Tank. Devin's a good fighter, et cetera, et cetera. So they probably didn't feel Ryan had a chance. But guess what? When Ryan put out the performance that he did with Devin Haney, right? Because we didn't know about the Osterine fail at the time. He whooped Devin Haney, dropped him a gang of times. That's going to stay with the public. And it still, to this day, has hurt Devin Haney, in my opinion, right? And the reality is all that pandering to a Mexican crowd from a black fighter and team in terms of the Haneys, it didn't pay off, because while you were out here, trying to get the love and adoration of Latino people, when Ryan did what he did and mollywopped Devin and dropped him, Devin became a meme. And those same people, even probably some that might have actually acted like they were on his side, they turned on Devin Haney. Like, nah, oh, he weak, or, posting memes. And now after that, he's battling at the fair and stuff like that. It gets ugly. So you guys have to understand, this is a dark side of boxing, the dark side of boxing. Just like the wrestling show, I'm bringing y'all the dark side of boxing. The reality is there are a lot of ignorant people and ignorant fans, and people don't want to address it. They're like, no, man, da-da-da-da. But then you see it in the comment section, right? You see it in the comment section every single time, right? You guys say, oh, why are you bringing up race in boxing, Ego? It's not about race. Man, miss me with that. I've been doing this. I've been called every name under the book for covering boxing, right? People are like, oh, it's not about race, Ego. Stop making it about race. But then don't say nothing to the people in the comment section posting this, right? This is on the Terence Crawford post where he was showing love, talking about Latino fighters. I grew up with a lot of Latinos and love to them. And they putting pictures of gorillas and monkeys and Caesar, from Planet of the Apes or whatever this is, with a fade. You see what I'm saying? So once again, do not resist. Resistance is futile. When Boxingego tell you something, you might as well just book it. It's really what happens. I told you this fight was going to create the racial tension. And here's the thing. I don't even know if we can technically even say that they're in fight camp, right? They're not deep in the fight camp. This is a ways away. The fight's not till September. And look at what people are already doing. And they did it on a post where Crawford, I told you what he said. I have a lot of Mexican fans. There are people who love boxing. I grew up around a lot of Latino people. This is for all the Mexicans that love and support me. But that, plus the fact that the Spanish speaking page put Crawford as another one with Mexican blood running through his veins, it's like you have a lot of Latino and Hispanic and Mexican fans. They didn't like that. They didn't like to hear that this dark-skinned kid from Omaha got Mexican blood in his system when he about to fight a Mexican fighter. And I told you, and this is how fake people are in boxing. That's why I like to expose what it really is, right? Because when it was Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, oh, that's different, because that's two ninjas. You got two ninjas, it's all good. So a lot of the boxing fans that are on that racial tip, right, they can just be boxing fans, right? And they can view it like Crawford versus PBC and Al Heyman. So they don't have necessarily a horse in the race. They just want to see a good fight. But when you mix and do like an interracial boxing match where it's high stakes, high profile fight with a guy like Crawford, black, dark skin, and a guy fair skin, Mexican like Canelo, every time this is what you see in the comment section. You know, it doesn't even have to be Mexican and black. It could be a Puerto Rican guy or Dominican guy in a black, like Hector Luis Garcia. It could be Wilder versus Tyson Fury, right? When it's Wilder versus Gerald Washington, you don't see it. Two black, you know what I mean? Two black dudes, right? Right? Or that's not even a good example because he's part Mexican. But you get what I'm saying. Wilder, Bermain Stavern or something. People just sit back and enjoy the fight. But I tell you how this game goes. People don't want to address what it really is. And that's what it is. And as far as Crawford, you know, I think he was trying to be real or whatever, but this is what happens when you pander. The same people you pander into, they not showing you the same love. Crawford's not a runner. You got people in the comments kind of insinuating that he would run. You know what I mean? People saying, oh, the freckle guy is going to kick your cold world. And nobody wants to mention these things except for ego. But it's just funny to see how people resent Terence Crawford, you know, being labeled a fighter that had Mexican blood, and then they're going to jump out the window and start dissing him and putting racial things and, you know, whatnot. But for me, it's not surprising because I've been in this game. And if you're in the game and you're honest with yourself, you don't have to be black. You could be white, Mexican, or whatever. But if you pretend you don't see this stuff, then it's on you. We've seen it with Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. I think Crawford thought he was different. Like, I'm a good fighter. You know, I got a Mexican guy on my team. He has a Mexican dude that works with him. You know, Omaha, you know, maybe they got a lot of Mexican people. I don't know. But, you know, he put out the statement and now is making waves and not getting the response that is just not getting a great response, in my opinion, from making that statement. So it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Check out some of the other videos. Use my link to get StreamYard if you are serious about YouTube and upping your stream game. The link will be in the description. Check that out. If you're trying to grow your YouTube, vidIQ, or TubeBuddy. These are what I use to get over 300,000. And let me know what you think of Crawford and his statement and the response that he's getting. We unpack. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I could provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate. So ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.